Hi, everybody. My name is Sandi Boucher, and welcome to Honorary Indian Daily. I wanted to take this opportunity to share with you the story behind the recordings, why I'm doing this, and why I'm so thrilled you've decided to join me on this journey. To help you understand the why, I need to explain a cultural difference to you. So in Western style culture, it is often an expectation that whatever you're reading, that you just accept it at face value, whether it's a personnel policy or an instruction manual. You read it, you believe what it says to be true, you do what it says. End of story. But in many indigenous nations, and I'm an Anishinaabe, I'm an Ojibwe woman, in my culture, we are taught to what I call go deep, which means you ask the why. Why did I have that dream? Why did this quote pop up in front of me in my news feed? Why did that person call out of the blue? We go for the deeper meaning, the significance, which is why I call it going deep. When I wrote Honorary Indian, my first book back in 2010, I was sharing my mom's teachings through my life experiences. What I had hoped was that the reader would go deep in the style, in the way that I was taught to embrace and understand any teaching or piece of literature that came across my desk. But what I discovered quite quickly after the book was released, that some people were totally getting it and they were totally getting the benefit from the book because they were taking the time to ponder and consider how the entries applied to them, but so many others weren't. And that bothered me because the book wasn't helping them in the way it could if only they realized they had to go deep. So this was really bothering me. And so I did what I always do in these situations. I took some tobacco and I offered it to an elder. For the people in and around Thunder Bay and area, if you've had the opportunity or had the opportunity to know and love Frida McDonald, she was one of our most valued and cherished elders. And I love the fact that every single time I saw her, she had a huge smile and a hug for me. Well, at this time of confusion in my life, everything for a reason, I ran into Frida at a conference, and I knew that this was an opportunity to get my answer. So I went over to see her like I would do anyways, and I gave her a super hug and sat and chat with her and asked her how she was doing. And at the appropriate time, I offered her some tobacco and I explained this challenge to them, how in my mind so many people weren't reading the book right. And she laughed at the way I summed that up. I explained how so many of my readers didn't know how to go deep and that I didn't know what to do about this and I really needed her guidance. What I got in response was a classic Frida McDonald smile, just beaming, and she just looked at me in the most simplistic, loving way and said, "Well, I guess you're going to have to teach them." That was 10 years ago. Frida has now gone on to Spirit World, and I have pondered this for an entire decade. How am I going to do this? How am I going to teach people how to read these words in the way I was taught? Well, that's what Honorary Indian Daily is all about. I'm going to share my daily entry, but I'm going to share so much more than that. I'm going to prompt you and help you and guide you to get the most out of every entry so that you get maximum benefit from every single page in the way I had hoped it would help you when I wrote those words. So let me take this opportunity to say thank you so much for joining me on this journey. We're not going to start yet. I have one more recording I want you to hear, but then we're going to jump into January 1st here at Honorary Indian Daily. Stay tuned.